everybody's. Good morning, or I guess it's officially afternoon. I'm sorry, it's 12:15. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Akron. We have some very special guests with us here this morning, and we're so happy to have them. Our Rotary team is 1.4 million passionate individuals in 46,000 clubs around the world. We are both an international organization and a local community leader. And together we lead change in our backyards and across the world. I'm Linda Farkas, and I'm honored to be your 2022-2023 president of our club. And thank you for being with us today in person, and we have many people online, so thank you for joining us today. At this time, we'll do our pledge. There we go. Do we please stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. And our four-way test: is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? And will be beneficial for all concerned? Thank you so much. Jack Herrick is supposed to do the invocation, and
I'm here.
Okay. Oh, there you are, Jack. Thank you. Oh, you're with John. Hi, John.
He said hi to you. Oh, hi. Hi.
Hi, John. So, Jack, if you do the invocation, please, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. I have been concerned about all of the media and talk that seems to make us different and separate us. And I think that there's a oneness in all of us, regardless of our nationality backgrounds, our religious beliefs, or whatever, and a oneness with nature. And I thought I would use a Native American prayer today to reflect on how we are together. The prayer goes this way, if you would be an attitude of prayer. I give you this one thought to keep. I am still with you. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on the snow. I am the sunlight on the ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not think of me as gone. I am still with you in each new dawn. Blessings to all, and may all be blessings to each other. Amen.
Thank you, Jack. And John, again, it's good to see you. Karen has our guest today.
Yes, our own guests today are here from with our speakers. So I'm going to have you guys each introduce yourself.
I'm Charit from Toronto, actually, Canada. This is my cousin. We're going to stay here a few days, and I'm going to enjoy the speech today.
My name is Nilanta Sam. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm the president of the board for the Cleveland Buddhist Vihara. I am Bhante Soorakkulame from Cleveland Buddhist Vihara in Akron.
I'm Bhante Pemaratana from Cleveland Buddhist Vihara. I'm going to be the guest speaker.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome again. It's so nice to have you here with us. Do we have any Rotary ambassadors that were out and about? Anyone online? No one here? Okay, so we'll move right along. Happy dollars. Connor, do you mind?
No, I don't mind.
Okay. Do you need my microphone?
Yep. All right, anyone happy today?
We're doing happy dollars. Anybody happy?
Anyone online happy? In here? No? All right, Mella's happy. All right. You coming over, Mella?
Okay, I'm $2 happy. Before I arrived here, I was visiting with Marilyn Bucky, so she's a Rotarian and has been a Rotarian since 1988, I believe. So she wanted me to send greetings. She has been remiss in attending Rotary. She spends half her year in Naples, but wanted to let you know she was thinking of all you. She gave me a bunch of old Chili Open stuff because she is selling her 1929 Tudor house in Cleveland Heights. So she wanted me to give a shout out. And then just a reminder, many of you have signed up for the regatta, and I thank you for that. So September 24th is the party at Akron Rotary Camp. Thank you.
Thank you, Mella. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Connor. Yeah, I'm actually at the bottom. I don't have any money, so I had to borrow $2 off Connor. But number one, happy that I get to sit next to Ann Jorgensen today. I think I've seen you almost every Zoom meeting for the last year or so, but get to sit with you in person. So thanks again. Very happy you're here. And also happy next Wednesday, Blue Coats Incorporated. It's a nonprofit here in Summit County made up of business professionals. We help pay for medical bills for firefighters, police, EMS that get hurt on the line of duty. We have our annual meeting next week. I know Tom Knauer will be there. I'm really happy because Connor Jarvis has agreed to be our newest member. So very happy about that.
Appreciate the invite. Thank you. Anyone else happy? I know I'm happy about that. Behind me. All right, Karen.
I'm $2 happy. One for the fact that this weekend I got to meet our great nephew. He's 10 months old. They live in Wisconsin, so it was first time. It's really nice to be, you go through cycles. We have to have babies back in the family again, so that's really nice. And then the second one is just a reminder: September 20th, Change for Change. Katie, Julie, and I are guest bartending at Mercedes Lounge.
Thank you, Karen. Yes, that'll be a fun night. All right, anyone else online? Let's see, no, Laura. No, she's just, all right, I think that might be it. Oh. Who has it? Oh,
Doug.
Yes, Dr. Doug. He actually has the hand. All right.
Yeah, I'm doing the old-fashioned raising the hand on Zoom. So I'll throw in $5 happy dollars. A couple of things. We have a couple of friends who have signed up to come along to the regatta, so that should be fun. And I can't be there because I'm doing a lot of my teaching from out of town this semester. So you can see that I'm in Orville at the Wayne County campus of the university, and they actually gave me an office with a window. So they're nice to the old retirees, unlike the Akron campus.
Very nice, Dr. Doug. All right, 5 there, and I think that might do it. Yep, back to you, Linda.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Dr. Doug. You've got a window in your office. That's always a plus. I know that well. David Hall's not here with us today. Just a reminder, our service project for the month at the Akron Canton Food Bank is Wednesday, September 21st, 4:30 to 6:30. And David will possibly, or Julianne, be coming up with an activity for after dinner. I mean, after we serve it then.
So this time, sorry, my mouth is full of lunch. So this time, the social is going to be we've been talking about making it the day before, which is the Change for Change that Karen, Julie, and Katie are doing. And then David said that if anybody wants to go out to eat afterwards, or just by the place on
Okay,
the
all
21st.
right, thank you so much. Mela mentioned the regatta, so we have that date on our calendars. Don't forget the regular scheduled board meeting. It's next Tuesday here at Bounce. And then Jerry Kiefer has coordinated a wonderful off-site tour for us at the Emily Davis Gallery at the Meyer School of Art at the University of Akron. So Anne, I expect you to be there. And we will have a boxed lunch that will be served. You can eat there or take it to go. And then additionally, hopefully everybody saw the survey results, and hopefully next week we'll be able to share that information with you. So any other announcements that need to be brought forward? No? Okay, Jerry, it's all yours.
Thank you and good afternoon. Yeah, too short for the camera. Maybe I am not too short.
I don't know, I can't do it anymore. Sorry.
I am very, very pleased and honored to introduce you to our guest today. I will say that how I found the Cleveland Buddhist Vihara was in the Akron Beacon Journal, where I do a lot of my research for speakers. And it's right around the corner on in our area, Vernon Odom, I believe. And also, as not a practicing Buddhist, but as one who has read Buddhist literature and actually sat in a zazen in Virginia, I believe that the Buddhist religion and philosophy is a very powerful way to promote peace and love in our community and in our world. So I will introduce Bhante Soorakkulame Pemaratana as the chief monk of the Pittsburgh Buddhist Center and the Cleveland Buddhist Vihara. Born and trained in Sri Lanka, he moved to the United States in 2008. Bhante earned a PhD in religious studies from the University of Pittsburgh in 2017. He just completed a 2-year postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Pennsylvania. He has given guest lectures and conducted seminars in universities, including in the UK. He also travels to countries in Southeast Asia to conduct public talks and meditation retreats. Now, he is administering the Sri Lankan community in the tri-state area and an ever-growing group of Americans interested in learning more about Buddhism, mindfulness, and meditation. So may I please introduce Bhante to you. Yes.
Good afternoon to each and every one of you, and wish you all peace, happiness, and fellowship. So with that, I will have to say that this is a great honor for me to be here to talk to you and also to everyone joining from online. I'm representing Cleveland Buddhist Vihara and Meditation Center, although we call it Cleveland, but it is in Akron. And so as Jerry mentioned, and it is in Vernon Odom Boulevard, actually behind Primo's Deli. Yeah, so if you want to find the place, that will be the good, sign. So I'm here with Bhante Buddhadatta, the permanent resident monk at the Cleveland Buddhist Temple, and also Nilantha Samaranayaka, we fondly call him Sam, and he's the president of the board of directors, and also Charit, who's visiting us from Toronto. And so Cleveland Buddhist Vihara is new. We just opened last year. I think Jerry found us, through the papers, right? And we are so glad that, the local community welcomed us so well, and, our mayor was so welcoming and everyone else here. So it's really happy to be part of the Akron and Cleveland community. And then your invitation came at the right time. It's like more like feeling. It's a welcoming, gesture. That your invitation it really affirmed us that this community is welcoming and open-minded. So that's a great encouragement for us at the very beginning of our mission. So our Cleveland Buddhist Vihara aims to promote peace, mindful living, peaceful coexistence, and spiritual awakening. So we have a number of programs like meditation programs and classes for children. So if you are interested in visiting and attending some of those programs, we have flyers here, and later you can collect them. So today, actually, I was talking with Jerry, what kind of, theme that we want to talk today. And so I thought that maybe I talk something about something related to the mission, the larger goal of Rotary itself. And this invitation came actually a very interesting time, because we just finished a project with Rotary Club Colombo, Sri Lanka. As you know, that in Sri Lanka is going through its worst economic crisis these days. And then they don't have enough foreign reserves to buy anything from outside of the country. And one important thing that they are lacking is the medicines. So we were so concerned about the patients who are getting treatment in the hospitals. They don't have enough medicines because they don't have really enough funds, enough foreign reserves to buy medicine from outside. So here we collected funds from our Buddhist centers, and then we need some organization to help us to coordinate all this transaction and buying medicine, everything. So fortunately, the Rotary Club in Colombo Western came forward to help us, and they did all the hard work on the ground, ordering the medicine. We only provided the funds and other assistance, but they helped us a lot to make that whole project successful. So we were able to donate a significant amount of life-saving emergency medicines to Colombo Hospital. And so we are so thankful to Rotary Club in Colombo Western for helping us. And I saw that you are also doing a lot of programs with children. And then, so my home monastery in Sri Lanka is having 2 orphanages, 2 children homes. We are taking care of girls and then boys in 2 different homes. And then we have been helping these children from here, because in our Cleveland Buddhist Vihara, we have classes for children. So we connect these children with the children in our homes. And so they send Christmas gifts every Christmas time, and they send school supplies and new school uniforms every year. So each child here is connected to a child in our 2 orphanages in Sri Lanka. So I'm so glad to see that the common interest that we all have. But my talk today will be about the spiritual value of serving others, because your goal, the Rotary's goal, is service about the self. It's a very touching phrase when you hear the term service about the self. And I will talk more about the term service, because it has a special meaning. But when you think about service about the self, but today I'm going to talk about the self. Because serving others, helping others, doing charity works definitely benefit the community, definitely benefit everyone in need. But my theme of the talk today is that what it does to us. What is the spiritual value of this act of generosity? What's the spiritual value of serving others? What kind of impact it is doing to the people who are involved in these projects? So of course, when we do a genuine act of generosity, genuine service, we don't expect anything in return. That's the ideal way of giving, right? But that's different. But we don't expect anything. But there's something is happening, whether we expect or not. There's a transformation happening within the person. So I just want to highlight what is really happening there when we serve others, when we want to serve someone above the self. What is happening to the self or to the soul? So as human beings, we are with dual capacities. One way, we have a tendencies to be selfless, to be giving, to be sharing. At the same time, we also have habitual tendencies to be selfish, to gain things, and also sometimes to get irritated. You know, any human being is having these two capacities, two possibilities. No one is only, only selfless all the time, and no one is only selfish all the time. We have these both capacities working hand in hand. It's almost like two aspects, two parts of our mind, sometimes fighting each other, right? So understanding this dual capacities really is very, very important, because then we can decide which part of ourselves or which capacity of ourselves that we want to feed, we want to promote. Because we are we have these both potentials. We can be either selfish or resentful, angry, and gaining things for ourselves, or greedy, or at the same time we also have the potentials to be selfless, giving and sharing and kind. So in each moment we will be shifting ourselves to different sides, but then we can develop a kind of more habitual, we can develop within ourselves to be on wholesome side most of the time. And that should be the goal of our human life. And when we think about serving others, so it really it kind of counter the unwholesome tendencies that we all have as human beings. If I want to categorize these unwholesome tendencies, we can say that we have a tendency to own things, to attach to things. So attachment to owning is one unwholesome tendency all of us are having. The next one will be, we can call it resentment or dislike or rejection, that what we don't like. And the third one can be called confusion or delusion, or most likely we can also call it ego. So the unwholesome tendencies are attachment, aversion, and ego, or maybe confusion. Believing that there's a separate self existing that is separate from the rest of the world. That's the delusion, that is the confusion. So these are the three unwholesome tendencies that we all share as ordinary human beings. But our act of service and our acts of generosity counter all these three aspects, three unwholesome tendencies in us. It can always counter and weaken them. Because any moment that you want to help someone, serve someone, and give something to someone, what it does actually, it kind of diminish our attachment, our and then it diminish our aversion, and also diminish our confusion or our idea of separate self or ego. So any proper act of generosity is based on an attitude of letting go, and also compassion for the recipient, and then also wisdom that it is the best thing to do. So any act of generosity is like attitude of letting go, kindness, or the compassion to the recipient, and also based on the wisdom that this is the best thing to do right now. So think about these three items: so letting go, compassion, and wisdom. These three aspects actually counter the opposite unwholesome tendencies that we have, which is the attachment, aversion, and delusion. So any moment of service is actually we are countering, or maybe we are weakening the unwholesome tendencies, actually transforming ourselves, to be a different person. So we may not expect that to happen, but that's automatically happening within us. So I remember one interesting story about an old woman. This happens in a mountain area, and in a very rural area, this old lady was making a journey she only had a small bag, a cloth bag. But she was traveling along this road. She has to pass few mountains, but it's a rocky area. And she had to fall at one time, and she managed somehow, find some balance. And then she found that because of her fall, the ground was, she had her path, the earth has some opening, little bit, place, and then she found a precious stone because of that fall. So she was so happy. She took that precious stone, put in her bag. She continued her journey. Along the way, she found another traveler who is traveling to the opposite direction. But the traveler who's coming from the opposite direction seems very tired and very weak. And he approached her and asked, "Do you have anything to eat or drink?" She had a small piece of bread left in her bag. So she opened the bag to give that small piece of bread. When she opened the bag, the other traveler saw the precious stone in that bag. As soon as he saw that precious stone, he changed and really wanted to have that precious stone, not the bread. So if we want to try like in the good way first, so she asked, I'm in big trouble. I'm going to see my family. I didn't have any work for many days, and can I get that precious stone? The moment he asked, she, without any hesitation, put her hand to the bag and handed over the precious stone. He was surprised. What really happened? He was expecting the bread and he was expecting, something else. And then she wished him the best and she continued her journey. This traveler was so happy, and he think that with this precious stone, I can really, take care of everything in my life. I don't have to work hard anymore. He was so happy. He was traveling faster and faster to reach his home. But after it usually is a long journey, but after one night he spent, he had a different thought. He was really thinking about that moment, that how that old lady was able to give away that precious stone. So after one night, in the first day he was so happy that he got the stone. And after the first night, he was not that happy. He's thinking, I should go back. I should go back and find that lady. So he turned around and he walked all the way back 2 days to find that lady. And he finally found the lady and talked to her and thanked her and said, I came to return the precious stone. What I really want is not the precious stone. What I really want is the kind of mind that you had that made it so easy for you to give away this precious stone without any hesitation. Can I have that mind? Because that mind is so precious than the precious stone that you can, without hesitation, you can let go of that precious thing for the benefit of others. So he really wanted that mind, not the precious stone. So that's the kind of change happening in us when we continue to serve others, continue to give others. It transforms ourselves and then bring all the inner goodness in us, and we become people who are ready, who has such a precious mind that we can be of service to anyone at any moment. And that is not really easy. It's really a big transformation happening in us. So what it really does is actually kind of help us to go above our self-absorption. That is why the idea of serving above the self is exactly appropriate, because these acts of services actually help us to go beyond our ego, go beyond our self-interest, go beyond our self-absorption, because it is the self-absorption and ego and self-interest that creates so much of pain and suffering and disappointment and problems for us, to our individual life and also to our communal life. Any moment of suffering in your life, you can think about any moment of suffering, any moment of conflicts, any moment of tension, any moments of disappointment has something to do with our self-interest and self-absorption. Even little example, you think about it, when you're driving, someone happened to cut you through, right? And it's not it can be dangerous, but other than the danger of the act, sometimes we can get hurt, we can be offended, right? We can be offended. It can be sometimes such an act can really create a tension within us, and we will be try to like do something, and the whole day we will be carrying that tension within us, and we may create other problems also. But how someone's driving can be an offending to us, and there's an element of ego there. Now, of course, it's one thing to have concern for the safety, but completely another to have that like want to defend oneself, want to like defend one's ego. So in many of our occasions in our lives, much of the suffering, pain that we are experiencing is based on our absorption to the self and the ego, and also even the communal problems can also be based on that. So acts of services, acts of generosity kind of help us to weaken that. And we have developed this ego and self-absorption as a part of our need for survival. And we need such such a tendency to survive. But it will not help us to thrive. It will help us to survive, but it will not help us to thrive. I think we have come a long way as human society. We have less issues to survive from the natural disasters and the natural environment, but it's time for us to thrive. But some of the tendencies that we develop in initial period are still keeping us from developing ourselves. So therefore, these acts of generosity and these acts of service really helpful for us to go beyond that. And so there's an interesting verse in the Buddhist text which says that, I will say the translation, for the benefit of others, the rivers carry water. For the benefit of others, trees bear fruits. For the benefit of others, cows yield milk. Like three natural things, like the river carry waters for the benefit of others. Trees bear fruits for the benefit of others. And then came to animal, cows yield milk. Usually cows produce more milk than what their little ones need, right? Cows yield milk for the benefit of others. In the same way, our lives should be spent for the benefit of others. We have to be at least as good as a tree in that case. Just like a tree produces everything for the benefit of others. So I really like the idea of the term service, because we can say help. Helping is a good term, but I think when you say serve, you actually put the recipient, the beneficiary, little bit above the giver. You can help someone. So in that helping interaction, you'll be someone who's kind of above and you're helping someone below, like you're giving. But when you're serving, you're actually serving with respect. So the service is a really important term, because whenever we serve others, we need to serve with respect. Although the recipient can be poor, can be, whatever the condition, but the recipient is actually helping us to do a good deed, helping us to help ourselves to transcend our ego-centeredness. So the service is a really important term, because we treat the recipient with respect, not with sympathy or not with pity, but with respect. So I really like your motto, so about the self. So this is what I had to share with you today. So, and you may not expect anything in return in your generous acts, in your service, but actually that is the way to allow our full potentials as human beings to flourish. When I came here, your president, gave me this little, button, right? Button, and your theme is to imagine, right? Imagine and go beyond your limitations. As human beings, the wholesome capacity that is hidden in us can be developed through actions, through this kind of services that you are doing. And of course, meditation can help too, so we can help with that. But I'm so glad that you continue this service. I'm so glad, to be part, of your, program here today. And thank you very much for this invitation. We feel so welcome and a part of the Cleveland and Akron community because of invitation. And we look forward to work with you, and we can, raise funds for you, and we may also even ask help from you, and we can work together. We are slowly growing our community, but we can work together in collaboration. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhante. Are there questions? Maybe even about the Cleveland Buddhist Temple? Yes.
Okay, so Bhante, just a question for you, your opinion. So obviously, in the United States or the Western world, we have a society that's very self-interested, competitive, we value individual choice, liberty, and we focus on ourselves internally. Because of that, do you think it's more difficult for folks that are from the West or from the United States to adopt a servant's mentality or to serve compared to someone that's maybe from another part of the world, maybe from the Eastern world like Asia, Sri Lanka, where as a people there seems to be more focus on community and the other person versus your own self?
Yeah. Thank you. It's a really great question, definitely. Definitely, when we think about the Western societies and Eastern societies, we can see this, the communal like orientation for communal orientation and individual orientation. But I don't like to term it as Western, because this whole individualism and individual focus is not necessarily the Western thing. It's actually, we can call it capitalist or new economic system. So we cannot really say this is the Western idea, but because even in Asian countries, the more of the capitalist kind of economy, more kind of I don't know what, and they are also becoming more self-centered and self-interest, and usually even in Asian countries they used to have like communal settings, and you think in terms of a village. You don't think in terms of one individual. You always think about in terms of a village. But those things are now losing, even in the Asian countries. So I would say it's more like a result of this, the capitalist or maybe new economic system. And yes, it is challenging, but it's also becoming challenging even in Asian countries too. So I think it's a common human, tendency, unwholesome weakness, but we all have to work together. But the current economic system, the competitive market, is not helping us to bring out the best of us. That's why the kind of organization like Rotary and many other organizations is so important, particularly in this new period, to help people to bring the best out of them, because the economic system is not helping.
Thank you, Bhante. That was a great talk. How do you find the status of the temple in the Akron Cleveland community? Is it mostly made up of Sri Lankans, or are there other members of our community that are interested in participating, and how do you anticipate the growth of your faith and your message among people that might not be familiar with Buddhism?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Actually, we just started, the Buddhist Center the last year, but before that we have, we formed the organization. We just acquired this building the last year, and we had the dedication ceremony last year. So it's initiated by an interested group of Sri Lankan immigrants here. But our programs are conducted in English, and we don't limit our programs to any ethnic or any nationality, any group. We also welcome the Bangladeshi community, Myanmar community, and mainly even like any local community. So our programs are free and open to public. So we don't have any limitations to any group of people. Whoever wants to learn mindfulness, meditation, and also some Buddhist teaching. So we have sessions of meditation and mindfulness. We also have classes of like Buddhist teachings. You can choose. It's not required for you to be a Buddhist in order to come to programs or be in the programs in our center. It's open. And we don't expect to convert anyone to Buddhist. That is not our interest. We just want to help people to live a mindful and peaceful life.
Perhaps with Apple's recent struggles with some conflict between the police and the community, I could see a good fit for your message and perhaps as a way to get involved in maybe community relations. And we could use a little peace and mindfulness in the city.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So we have our president Bhante Soorakkulame. He conducts meditation every Sunday. Yeah, we have our president Sam, and so I'm coming every month, sometime every week to Cleveland, to Akron. So definitely we can have some programs to the local community. That's our interest, definitely. Yeah. And even work with other faith leaders to do something together.
Anyone else? Bhante, thank you. Oh, one more, Cindy? Okay.
Hello. I just want to thank you very much for your speech. It really was a great way of looking at service in a different way. And Jerry, I want to thank you very much because this was very meaningful, and I would love to see more speeches similar to this because this was just very fruitful, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
We have a little gift for you. It's a card and a coin, which is a coin of love, friendship, and imagination. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you for the message.
Thank you again so much. Did you leave brochures here for us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I will move them a little bit closer. That's okay. Yeah, that would be good. Thanks, Jude. Thank you for bringing those. That's very kind. Thank you. So, great. Well, we are enlightened for today. So thank you so much. So we had nobody brought any tickets for our lottery or happy dollars. So we don't have a drawing. Any other announcements that we need to bring before the group? If not, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you. We'll see you next week.